That is quite possibly the dumbest thing I think you've ever said.
We're gonna have to cut that, aren't we?
You know what they say, you just never know these days.
I can't believe I take part in this show.
There's nothing out there that compares to Mom's Basement.
And now, from the mean streets of Lockport, Illinois, M.O.M.S Basement starring Corey and Joe.
Welcome back to another episode of M.O.M.S Basement here on YouTube and iTunes. As always, I'm Joe. With me, as usual, is Corey. We're back again. We're better than ever. And, of course, a couple things before we get into the loaded card today. We're still doing a giveaway. This M.O.M.S Basement Snapback. 2 ways to enter. You cannot make us into a GIF. And tweet us.
I didn't expect to jump into it so
You
early.
cannot make us into a GIF and tweet it
to
enter this giveaway.
Yo, we have some haters, man.
Subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe on YouTube. Leave a comment on the video on YouTube. Leave an iTunes review. That is how you enter to win the hat. If this video gets 10 likes, we will give away the hat live on the next M.O.M.S Basement. Matt's not here to tell me we're not live. It's all good.
Not gonna lie though, especially this is a shout out to the guys in my White Sox chat who I talk to on a daily basis. If you guys are listening on iTunes, check out the YouTube video too, and check out this hat because it's a pretty damn good looking hat, and you guys can just win it for subscribing and commenting. So why not give it a shot?
Also, as usual, make sure you guys check out the Crossover Report at crossoverreport.com and Crossover Report on all social media, preferably Twitter because it's all fun. It's all hilarious actually. They make people mad. They make people sad.
I fucking love that Twitter.
They think they know Corey, but they really don't. So check out Crossover Report on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
I think they just know me as the guy who trashes the Ball family.
Yeah, well, that show actually got renewed for a second season.
Fucking A.
I saw that today. I was a little disappointed. All right, full card today on M.O.M.S Basement. We got Cubs postseason. We haven't been here since the Cubs have played. Obviously, won the DS. We'll get into it. They're down 2-0 in the CS. We'll get into that. We got call out of the week. We got hot take of the week. We got NFL action. Da Bears and Mr. Kisses Titties himself get a win this week. We'll get into that. NBA kicked off tonight. Yikes. And a superstar has gone down already.
Superstar.
And then we'll have, at the end of the show for the first time, we'll have some inbox questions to answer. So that should be fun. But let's jump into it with the defending world champions.
For now.
The Chicago Cubs. They took care of the Nationals in 5 games. Corey, if you remember correctly, I said Cubs in 5. Right? You do remember?
I do.
Okay. I just want someone to verify that I said Cubs in 5.
And I also want you to know that the Cubs are outscored in that series.
I don't care. Wins are wins.
That's good. That's
wins
good for you.
Are
that's
wins.
That's
in
good.
what was the wildest game of baseball I have ever seen in my entire life.
Game 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, game 5 was before I worked, so I fell asleep, and I was sleeping. So.
You missed quite the ride. So let me break it down. I worked from 3 to 10 last Thursday. That was the game. So I'm at work for the game, and, Kenwood's popping. Like, it's Thursday night. We got baseball on. We got football on. People are buying liquor. They're slanging booze. They're slanging beer. So I'm watching as much of this game as I can. And, I see the Cubs. They go up. It's tied. They go down. I'm not worried. I remember I was cuddled down in the basement on a stack of Belvedere vodka Fits.
I was trying to figure out where you were going with this, but
looking up at the ceiling and going, it's time to ride. It's time to frickin' ride right now. Because the Dom doesn't want anybody on this train who is doubting the world champions. And guess what? If you doubt the world champions, walk out this door right here. It's right there. Corey, sit down. Didn't say you could go. Because everybody says they're done, and once again, they just frickin' fight back. It's what winners do. Series with the Nationals was great. I loved every game. I loved every pitch. They come out on top. Nationals still haven't won a postseason series. By now, you have to think they're going to fire Dusty Baker. He's probably never going to manage in baseball again, in my opinion. It's time for him to hang it up, put the toothpick in a frame case, and let's get rid of Dusty forever.
I think at some point soon, maybe not this offseason, but something's going on with them where they just can't. You can't fucking win a playoff series. They're far too talented. They have probably the second best player in the game on their team. You have
for now
a great. Okay, we're not going to talk about that right now. They got a great rotation. Anthony Rendon's a great third baseman. You got all these great pieces, and they just can't do it. I know Trey Turner sucked ass in this series, But at the same time, you just have too much talent to not
Credit Cubs
win a playoff
pitching.
series.
Credit Cubs pitching for Trey Turner.
I'll credit the Cubs starting pitching.
We'll get into that later too.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into all that. The only thing I don't like about Anthony Rendon is that freaking haircut, man. Do something with your hair.
Otherwise, he's a fucking stud, though.
Well, he did cost them costly error, but he's a great player. He's a great player.
He's a great player all around.
NL has a lot. NL in that playoffs had a lot of great third basemen. You got Justin Turner, Chris Bryant, Nolan Arenado, Anthony Rendon, and then who am I missing? Jake Lamb.
Jake Lamb for the Diamondbacks, yeah.
Great third baseman in the National League. That's a good storyline there. But yeah, the Nationals. I mean, what else do you want? They had home field advantage. You had Game 5 in your building. You bring in Max Scherzer. You had Strasburg pitch twice. I mean, yikes.
And then I think we should touch on some of that Game 4 shit, too, with the rain out and Steven Strasburg not...
The rain out helped the Nationals.
It did. It really did. But Steven Strasburg not wanting to start Game 4...
He wasn't sick.
For whatever reason.
I'm not buying the fact that Steven Strasburg was sick. I don't know why he didn't want to start. And I don't know why Dusty wouldn't go, I'm going to pitch Steven Strasburg. Just say it. Who cares? You have to say it. I'd be like, I'm going with my best pitcher right now, and that's Steven Strasburg. Tanner Roark, in my opinion, would have gotten lit up by the Cubs had they played Game 4.
I mean, I don't want to say that he wasn't sick. But I still think this is like the biggest. This is the biggest game of the year for you guys. How can you just be like, yeah, I got the sniffles, sore throat. Can't pitch the most important game for my team this year.
I heard from some people it was his agent. You know who his agent is?
Oh my God,
It's Boris.
Boris, thank you, Scott Boris.
And a lot of people think that Boris had something to do with it. Called Strasburg, like, listen, you have to pitch this game. Like, you can't say you're sick.
Well, because he's already got his money.
He does, but
if you're being paid like an ace, you should pitch a do or die game for that.
Yeah, he wasn't sick.
And he went out there and he just, he did.
He's a great pitcher.
He shut the Cubs down, but at the same time, it was a weird situation for a couple days there.
Moving past it to the NLCS, it has already begun. Game 3 is about to get underway in about 15 minutes here.
Sick.
100% chance the Cubs win tonight. You can book that. I'm serious. I'm 100% serious.
With Kyle Hendricks, I wouldn't be surprised if they won the game. Kyle Hendricks and Jose Quintana are like the co-aces right now.
Kyle Hendricks is an ace. I've been saying this for years now, Corey. Years.
You've been saying it for like a year and a half.
I'm rounding up.
All right.
Years now that he's an ace. Cubs are down 0-2. They had leads in both games, so don't go and say the Dodgers wiped the floor with them. Not the case. They scored 2 on Kershaw. Kershaw, again, meh in the postseason. Dave Roberts, this is what I like. Dave Roberts, props. Not afraid to yank his ace, best pitcher in baseball, when he doesn't think he has it.
Yeah, and I saw people questioning the moves. Why would you try to get... Because what they got, ultimately 5 innings out of that bullpen in Game 1.
Yeah.
And you're thinking to yourself, why would you pull the best pitcher in the game? That takes some nuts to do first.
It does.
That takes some nuts to do, first of all, because if that bullpen goes out there and gives up, say, 4 runs in the next, 2 innings, then you're looking at Dave Roberts as one of the most questionable calls in the playoffs. And really the negative attention isn't on him, it's on Joe Maddon and his management of the bullpen. Because why would you put in John Lackey when you have Wade Davis sitting right there in Game 2?
And we're going to get to that because, it's probably... in my opinion, the easiest decision was to go to Wade Davis. One, the Dodgers did the exact same thing. Tie game, you want your best pitcher on the mound, regardless of, and in this case, both teams' best reliever is their closer. So, tie game, the series, Game 2 of the series, big game. You need your closer on the mound. I don't know why Wade Davis didn't come into the game.
Don't even call him the closer. Call him your best reliever.
That's what I'm doing. Best reliever.
Because if you're trying to preserve a lead, you want your best guy out.
Yeah,
or
sure. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They both best relievers though are their closers. I mean, that's just their title.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying in general.
I'm not saying it's a save situation or anything. I'm just saying that they are both the closers. And the fact that we went to a guy who's never pitched back-to-back days in his career, and it's been a long career. He's a starter, and he's the kind of starter that gets hit.
38 years old.
He gets hit in the first inning in his starts. Period. He's a slow, takes him a little bit to get it together a lot of the time. He got taken deep more than 30 times this year. 30 Yabo shots off the Lackman.
36 to be exact.
37th was Turner, I believe. 37 Yabo shots off Lackey. Why? Why?
I saw you too. You tweeted it too, right? When they were putting him in, you were like, "Why is John Lackey going?"
When I saw John Lackey get up in the bullpen, I immediately tweeted out, "I can't imagine for the life of me why John Lackey would come into this game." He comes in, walks a guy. Justin Turner gets a fastball down the middle of the plate. Couldn't be more down the middle. Crushed it to a Dodger.
You don't want to make a mistake to Justin Turner. And
no, I mean,
now this is a question I want to ask you because I personally believe the last, how many years has Joe Maddon been the Cubs manager now? 3? So 3 full years. Joe Maddon hasn't really made too much of a difference, I think, in how this team turns out because they just have so much talent. But he's been costing them games in the playoffs. He almost cost them the World Series in 2016 because of how he handled Aroldis Chapman. And he cost them Game 2 of the NLCS when they were already down 1-0 because of how he handled Wade Davis versus John Lackey. Does that concern you going forward with him as a manager? Because you're going to look at these 3 seasons in a bubble and be like, the Cubs won 90-plus games, 95-plus games every single year. Why would there be a reason to question Joe Maddon?
It doesn't concern me, and I think, and you can vouch for this, I kind of think like a baseball executive in a lot of ways. But in this case, I have 2 theories, these are theories, my opinions. One, I don't think Joe Maddon thought they had to win that game. He obviously didn't. I mean, tell me I'm wrong, because if he did, Wade Davis wouldn't have been limited. Wade Davis would have been in the ball game. He's like, all right, worst thing that happens, I go down 0-2, I got 3 games at Wrigley. That has to be the mindset. Number 2, hang on.
Okay.
Number 2, he's thinking Lackey's going to get out Taylor up before he's not going to walk him. He's not going to have to deal with Justin Turner right now. He's thinking Lackey's going to get the out, and Lackey's going to give me some length so I don't crush my bullpen again. Now, those have to be thoughts going through his head.
There's two fundamental problems with each of those. Well, 2 total.
Of course there is, but that has to be what he's thinking.
So number 1, your first theory, it's a best-of-4 series, and you've already given up 1 game. Now, I get that it's the Dodgers at home field, and they're going to win at least one of those games probably. The Dodgers were the best team in baseball throughout the course of the season. And what was that?
Nothing.
Yeah, sure. And you look at the situation, and it's the first team to get to 4 wins. You already gave up 1. Why aren't you putting your best guys out there when you already have a day off coming up?
I agree.
So I don't agree with that. He just felt like it was okay to give up a game.
I agree. I don't agree with it either. I mean, I wouldn't do it if it was me. I'm saying that's a theory that he could have been thinking. Now, if it's me, Wade Davis is in the game. There's no such thing as limits. I'm a huge advocate for no pitch counts.
These guys are fucking athletes.
Yeah, you get paid
athletes.
To do this.
Stop treating them like they're ballerinas, okay? If Wade Davis goes out there and has to throw 2 innings, Wade Davis gets paid to be a top reliever. He needs to throw 2 fucking innings before he has a day off. And then your second theory, that's, I guess, a little more believable, but that's only because the first theory was batshit fucking crazy.
It's not crazy. I've been thinking, I'm like, it's not crazy because Joe Maddon himself is wild. He does things that nobody else does.
You can't say wild. He's stupid. That was stupid.
Wins a lot of games.
He wins a lot of regular season games.
And won a World Series.
He almost cost them the World Series with how he managed Chapman.
He won the World Series. Let's just leave it at that.
His players won the World Series. But anyway,
he has a huge part in that.
Anyway, back to your second theory. It's nice if it works.
But it didn't work. If it works, we're not even talking about it.
It's nice.
That's the thing.
Because you could probably get, 3 innings out of John Lackey if the Cubs manage to come back and tie it up. But at the same time, you have to know who you're throwing out there. You're not calling in, a Chris Sale. You're not calling in a Max Scherzer. You're not even calling in, a Jose Quintana or a Jake Arrieta. You're calling in probably the worst starting pitcher on your staff.
He is.
And the guy who, he's 39 years old, 38 years old, and he just doesn't have much tread on the tires left. And you've seen throughout the course of the season, he gives up 1 run, 2 runs in the first inning, another run in the second inning, before he, quote-unquote, settles in.
He's a slow starter.
I don't understand why you think pitching him on back-to-back days for the first time in his life, or at least in his major league career, and then knowing he's a slow starter, what clicks in Joe Maddon's head as, yeah, this is the right thing to do?
I don't know. I mean, no one can answer that except for Joe Maddon. Wade Davis should have been in the game. The decision to go to Lackey, obviously idiotic. Obviously didn't work because the Cubs are down 0-2. So now they go back to Wrigley, and let me tell you this. I am so confident. I really am. I am so confident. I'm sick and tired of people counting this team out. I'm sick and tired of the nonsense. I'm really sick and tired of it. I don't care if you're trolling. I don't care if you're serious. Listen up and listen really good. Cubs in 6. Let me tell you something. The Dom is absolutely right. It's time to ride, Corey. It's time to get up on the saddle. It's time to ride and not waver. 1. They were down 3-1 in the World Series last year. Everybody's counting the Cubs out. Everybody's counting the Cubs out. They win the frickin' World Series down 3-1 against a pretty good Indians team. Not as good as they were this year, even though they're sitting at home now, but pretty good Indians team. NLCS last year, they went down to the Dodgers, just like they're down here. They were down 2-1 to the Dodgers. Everyone's saying it's the Dodgers' time. Dodgers are going to win the pennant. The Cubs are choking.
It's an entirely different
classic
team.
Cubs.
An entirely
What's different
team.
about this team? It's the same roster.
First of all, Cody Bellinger.
It's the same roster for the Cubs.
Cody Bellinger, Yu Darvish.
Yu Darvish in the postseason's garbage. We're going to see it here in 10 minutes.
The Dodgers bullpen's a lot better than it was last year.
Sure, the Dodgers bullpen's been great. Let's see what happens in Game 3. Cubs in 6.
All right.
Period.
So if they win tomorrow, or if the Dodgers win tonight, am I going to see you tweet Cubs in 7?
Cubs in 7.
All right.
You're absolutely going to see.
And then if they get swept, is it going to be like Cubs in 9 or whatever? Because you just can't let go.
The season will be over.
Okay, as long as you can admit it's over, it's
the season
fine.
will be over
All right.
if they get swept. Corey, I have so much confidence in this team. You've got the Spanish Cubs. You've got Willie Contreras. What?
Keep on.
Jose Quintana. Welcome to the Spanish Cubs, my friend. Me friend. So good to have you.
Wow.
Also, can we talk about the guy?
Okay, first of all, the Spanish word for friend is amigo. It's like not that hard. It's really not that fucking hard.
I don't know Spanish.
Okay, then don't say me friend either. Just
well, you didn't get the reference. The me friend was a reference to Mia Khalifa.
Okay, well, she shot him down in friend.
Did you see the video of
she
her?
She friend zoned him, yeah.
Did you see the video of her at Game 1?
Yeah, she said, hi, friend.
Okay, I'm just
friend.
making sure you saw.
Friend.
That's why I said me friend. You've got the MVP at 3rd. He's going to hit. Rizzo's going to hit. Willie Contreras is going to hit. I don't care. I mean, they're not hitting right now. They're going to hit.
Doesn't Jose Quintana have the same number of hits as Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo combined?
Let's stop there. Jose Quintana, what?
Doesn't he?
He has 1 hit.
Yeah. And don't the two of them have like 1 hit combined?
He has 1 hit.
Yeah. I think Lester and Quintana have the highest batting average for the Cubs this playoff season so far.
Playoff season or the NLCS?
Either.
Anthony Rizzo has no hits and Chris Bryant has 1.
Yeah, so Jose Quintana has as many hits as those two combined. That's not what you want.
Those are in 2 games they lost. They're going to win the next 4 games.
All right.
They're going to win the next 4 games because of who? Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Kyle Schwarber, Kyle Hendricks. Starts tonight. Kyle Hendricks is a fucking ace.
The only one I can agree with you there is Kyle Hendricks. Kyle Hendricks has actually shown up this fucking playoff.
Kyle Hendricks is a damn good pitcher. I love guys like this. Finesse, locate, doesn't care about anything else but pitching. He is an artist on the mound. He is getting the Game 3 win tonight. He is going 7 shutout innings.
I feel like teams just approach hitting Kyle Hendricks improperly because
they think too much.
No, not. I don't even think that. I think you're thinking about the wrong thing. Where most guys, like when you approach somebody who could throw in the 90s, let's say, you sit on the fastball. And with Kyle Hendricks, you kind of have to work backwards, and you have to sit on his changeup, make him throw pitches over the plate. And I don't understand why teams can't do that. I know Dusty Baker talked about it after they got blown back by Kyle Hendricks in Game 1, but at the same time, you have to adopt a different philosophy for this kind of guy. And I just don't understand why teams don't do it. Maybe the Dodgers do it tonight.
Maybe teams try to do it, and guess what? It doesn't. He's a good pitcher. I mean,
no, he is.
You know what I love this year?
Just because I said the other philosophy where you sit on the fastball, you do that with Chris Sale, Max Scherzer, and it doesn't mean you're going to get a hit off them.
Right.
But the approach puts you in a better situation.
And this year, the leash is longer. A lot of these situations he's been in the postseason so far and late in the year. Last year, 2016, Joe Maddon pulling him. He's going.
Well, that's a trust thing, but it's also because the Cubs' bullpen isn't as good.
Yeah, the guy they would go to would be Mike Montgomery, and he hasn't been good as he was last year. Mike Montgomery's postseason ERA, you get ready for this because it's ugly.
I see.
It's 22 and a half.
That's a yikes.
And that's the thing. I mean, Dunsing still good. Stroke 2.08 ERA in the postseason.
And now, what was that stat we saw in Game 2? The Cubs starters ERA is below 2.
Yes.
And the bullpen ERA is above 7.
And it's because of the guys he's using in bulk. Carl Edwards, he's pitched in 6 games. His ERA is 14.73, but looked damn good in Game 2. through 2 innings. I mean, he was looking very sharp in Game 2.
Yeah, just my memory of Carl Edwards this playoff is going to be him hanging that curve to Bryce Harper, who hit
That was
500 miles.
Wade Davis's ERA is inflated because he came into a game and gave up a grand slam. Hector Rondon, same thing. He pitched a third of an inning and got taken yabo. I mean, that's inflated. Wade Davis is inflated. Carl Edwards Jr.
Yeah, I think everybody knows we kind of just deal with small sample sizes here.
Yeah.
But at the same point, what we have going right now for the Cubs is your corner guys, your cornerstones, Rizzo and Bryant, are not hitting. Your bullpen is not keeping you in the ball game. Your starters are keeping you in the ball game, but they're getting pulled kind of early.
Their pitch counts are high. I don't understand why people pay so much attention to pitch counts in the postseason because
these guys are going to have 6 months to rest.
Yeah, it's win or you're not playing for 6 months. So
yeah, this is what you're paid to do. If you're the Cubs, you don't trade Eloy Jimenez and Dylan Cease for Jose Quintana just to pull him after 5 innings or whatever they did when they played Washington, when he got a start against Washington. You ride with your guys. I mean, I don't see that's part of the Joe Maddon bullpen mismanagement as well.
And just to go through the starter ERAs, Jake's is 0, Quintana's is 1.59, Lester's is 1.88, and Hendricks is 3.27. So, I mean, the starting pitching is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Lester's built to pitch in the postseason. Jake Arrieta's been great throughout the
Well, they're going to ride
season.
Jake Arrieta into the ground because he's not going to come
gone.
back.
Yeah, he's gone.
So ride him into the fucking ground.
And Hendricks, we already talked about him being an ace. And then Quintana is very, very good. Q-Tober. I mean, it's Q-Tober. He's an ace.
Thanks for Eloy.
Thanks for Eloy, yeah. It worked both ways. But let me tell you this. Don't quit on the world champs. I'm telling you right now. Do not quit on the world champions.
I can't quit if I never believed.
Well, yeah, you're right. You out there, all you Cub fans, do not quit on the world champions. If you're quitting on the world champions, guess what? Never watch a game of baseball again. And now it's time for the call out of the week. I'm going to go first. Listen, this call out is to Joe DiGiacomo. I saw this tweet. It was sent to me by somebody. Listen, Joe, great guy. Love you. But this take, not good. I'm going to pop the take up right there. Let me get it ready to read really quickly. And it says, after Joe Maddon put Lackey in instead of Wade Davis, quote, "A World Series champion manager just made the worst decision of his professional life and will be remembered more for this than the World Series win, in my opinion." Stop it. He's not going to be remembered more for using Lackey over Wade Davis more than winning the first World Championship for the Chicago Cubs in 108 years. It's just not plausible. Horrible take. Probably got scorched for it. I didn't see. But yikes. That's a bad take. Call out of the week.
Alrighty, so then my call out of the week, I had to do it because fuck these Cub fans. I mean, there are Cub fans who bitched about Yasiel Puig in Game 1 of this NLCS series. He hit a double off the wall, and he hit a bomb that barely got out in left field. Let me just get rid of that.
I need that, though.
Tough shit. And they were bitching about him bat flipping a double and a bomb, and you support a team that has Javier Baez pimping Wilson Contreras throws to second and pimping pop-outs and fly-outs that easily are... They're nothing special plays, but you're going to get on a guy who, just put his team ahead 1-0 in a game, best-of-7 series with his first home run of his playoff experience. I hate a lot of Cub fans, and you guys are a really special kind of stupid.
M.O.M.S Basement on YouTube and iTunes. That was call out of the week. Moving now to the hot take of the week. I'm going to go first.
Damn it.
Kind of to the theme of Corey's here. White Sox fans have officially surpassed any other fan base.
This is so dumb.
As the saltiest
this
fan
is
base
so fucking dumb.
in sports. I'm sick
Have
and
you
tired.
Have you seen Atlanta?
I'm going to pop a picture up of
no,
Corey
absolutely
here.
not. No. I'm not even going to allow this to exist. This is roast ham material. I mean, have you seen Boston Red Sox fans who said Yoan Moncada was a bust after the way he started his career? Have you seen Atlanta Braves fans, basically for their entire fucking existence, about how their farm system was better than the White Sox? Or can we talk about St. Louis Cardinals fans, who are some of the worst fans in all of baseball, who were calling Jason Hayward the N-word after he left them for the Cubs? Are you kidding me? You're going to talk about White Sox fans? Really? You're telling me right now that if the White Sox were in the playoffs, not a single Cub fan would care about what the White Sox did in the playoffs.
I can't vouch for any other Cub fans. I can vouch for myself. I don't care what the White Sox do if they were in the playoffs. I'm not going to root for anybody against the White Sox. I'm not going to root for the White Sox.
I think you're lying, first of all.
You're going to see, Corey. You're going to know. You're going to know better than anybody whether I'm lying when they get into the playoffs in a couple years. Because I frankly do not give a shit. I could care less. I'll watch playoff baseball anytime. But
here's where I think you're a little confused, because I think most White Sox fans respect, or the intelligent White Sox fans, I should say, respect the individual talents of the players. They know Chris Bryant's one of the top 5 players in all of baseball.
Not the guy who says Todd Frazier's better than Chris Bryant, because that's garbage.
That guy's fucking Mike, and Mike's a fucking moron. Okay?
Make that into a GIF, you piece of shit!
Okay, well, this is shit. He's watched a couple of our episodes, and he's made GIFs out of us, but you know what? He's not going to like that part.
Corey, let's give him another high five. This one's going to swing in, and you. How about that?
But no, they know. Intelligent baseball fans know how good Anthony Rizzo is. They know how good Chris Bryant is. They know how to call people out when announcers are saying Javier Baez makes great defensive plays at second base that nobody else makes. When he really doesn't make plays, he just overruns a fucking pop-up, and he has to reach back and grab it.
That's a yikes.
Oh, what happened? Oh, guys, we're watching the Cub game live.
Yeah, Puig almost just went deep.
And Puig almost just went deep.
He threw his bat about 6 feet.
And that just triggered every Cub fan in existence. But anyway, back to your hot take. It's bullshit.
The good thing is it's my hot take.
Yeah,
and you can't take it away from me.
I can't. But you know what? Every fan base has their own shitheads. I'll give you that.
That's my hot take. Corey, your hot take.
Well, my hot take was going to be this is probably... Oh,
Yikes.
Go
on.
In awful taste, I was going to say Gordon Hayward will win MVP this year, but...
Gordon Hayward broke his leg tonight.
Gordon Hayward just broke his leg tonight. So I wasn't serious about that either. I just saw it after the injury, so y'all can hate me all you want. I think it was, ha-ha funny, and I think maybe if he ever watches this, he'll laugh about it in a few years. But anywho...
Once his foot's back to being spun the right way.
Oh, my God. But my hot take is that the Cubs will take another step back in 2019. And my reasoning for that is their pitching staff. You're going to have 2 solid guys at the top of your rotation. You're going to have Kyle Hendricks. You're going to have Jose Quintana. Then you're going to be losing John Lackey. You're losing Jake Arrieta.
Is John Lackey even a loss?
For a 5th starter, I don't think he's horrific.
Mike Montgomery
has not proven a single damn thing to me. And then John Lester's getting another year older on that contract. He's already proven this year he has at least some sort of inability to stay healthy and stay consistent. So I think he's going to take a step back. So unless you pull a move where you fleece a team and trade Kyle Schwarber for, a really good 2-3 pitcher, which I don't think he's worth, I don't understand. I don't know how the Cubs can be as good or better than they were this year.
Here's the thing. There's a guy, he's up in an office in Chicago.
Rick Hahn, yeah.
Nope, that's not true. He's up on the north side. He's got this big building by the park and Wrigley and all that stuff. His name's Theo Epstein.
Yeah, what does he have to work with?
Listen, he's Theo. What did he have to work with when he got here?
Yeah, he took 5 years to rebuild. Do you want him to take 5 years to rebuild the starting rotation?
I'm not saying. I'm just saying Kyle Schwarber's going to get traded in the offseason. They're going to add something. They might sign a 5th starter off the market.
Kyle Schwarber has not nearly as much value as you think, because sure, his bat, and I think Kyle Schwarber is a good hitter. I think he really suffered this year at the start and ended, I think, with like a 900 OPS or something like that.
Yeah, he was damn good when he came
Pretty damn close. But at the same time, you saw what he did in game 4 of the NLDS, where he dropped a fly ball and then kicked it and allowed a 3-base error. He offers no value in terms of a fielder. So then you're saying, okay, who's going to take him? You're eliminating half the teams in the league because they're National League teams. They're not going to put him anywhere. So then you move over to the American League. Well, he has no value to them as a fielder either. His only value is as a DH. The DH has significantly decreased in value since you've had guys like David Ortiz and, for the White Sox sake, Frank Thomas. You've had all these guys who just come in and rake, and that's all they do. Kyle Schwarber doesn't have that sort of clout. He hasn't been healthy, consistent. He still has to show that he can hit a left-hander. I mean, I don't think he had... I think he might based on just like the bat talent and projection, he might have some value to get maybe a back end of the rotation starter.
Which is what they need.
No, they don't.
They have two guys who can lead the front of the rotation, Quintana and Hendricks.
So you're telling me going from 4 deep to 2 deep is enough?
What do you mean?
They had Quintana, Hendricks.
And I'm saying they're going to
Lester.
add somebody. Lester's a damn good 3. He's a damn good 3.
When he's healthy. I don't know if you can count on him being healthy.
When has he not been healthy?
This year. He's been inconsistent. He's just had...
He hasn't been hurt.
Regardless.
He's been healthy.
I thought he missed starts this year, but regardless. Maybe I'm getting him mixed up with Arrieta's hamstring injury, but regardless. That's still... How old is Lester? Is he be 33?
I'll check.
I mean, you've already seen him take steps back this year, and I was going to give him credit
33.
for not... Is he going to be 33 or he is 33?
He'll be 34 next year.
Yeah, and how many years does he have left on that deal?
A few.
A few. A few?
A few.
Yeah, so... Sure, you could pencil him in as a number 3 starter, that's fine. But I think the Cubs have succeeded because of how they've... they were one of the deepest teams in baseball. And I think they're losing a lot of that, especially from the pitching, because they have nobody in the minors who are coming up to help them either. I mean, you traded your best pitcher in the minor leagues to us. Thank you very much. But,
he's in our contract till 2021.
Yeah, and he's making a lot of money, too. So they paid him to be the ace, and you know what? He was an ace for a championship team. But I think his window's closing. I think that Hendricks and Q, if they're still good, that's enough to get a team into the playoffs and win a couple games. But they need to fix the rotation. I don't know if they can do that given the not lack of depth, but all of their depth right now is on the big league roster. So you would have to give away part of that to get another starting pitcher, and that makes you weak in another area. And I don't know if Theo's willing to do that.
Well, I think Theo's going to be fine. I think he's going to figure it out. I don't know whether he's going to trade a guy like Addison Russell.
Well, someone just bat flipped it. I think that's Kyle Schwarber hitting a bomb.
Speaking of Kyle Schwarber, what did I say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Schwarber, baby! Taking you, Darvish, deep live. You saw it here first on M.O.M.S Basement. Probably not, though, because you're probably watching the game. But that was Corey's hot take of the week. Moving to the NFL now here on M.O.M.S Basement. The Bears got a big road win this week against Baltimore. Corey, I will let you tell them the score because you love the score.
No, just 27-24 in overtime. I just feel like if you set it up, you should put the score in.
I'm setting it up so you can hit it off the tee.
Oh, sick. I'm down with that.
Yeah, you're going to hit it off the tee. And who do you want to call out?
Huh?
You don't remember what you said. Literally 2 minutes ago when we were talking about the Bears. Into the camera, you said this.
Mike?
Sup, Duchesne?
Oh, yeah! Wait, sorry guys. This is like the 3rd time we're doing this because the camera's having some fucking issues. Breaking the 4th wall. But yeah, sup, Duchesne. Oh, shit.
That ball's...
Oh, that is massacred. Is that...
That's gone.
Is that Turner?
Yeah. No, it's...
no, that's... Taylor.
Anyways,
Jesus Christ.
So
2-1 Dodgers. But yeah, so back to the Bears. Back to the Ravens. Jeff Duchesne.
He was
huge
actually
Ravens fan.
supposed to come on the podcast to discuss before the game on Sunday. We were supposed to have it on Saturday night. It ended up I didn't get home from work and stuff.
And I was sick with my flu shot.
Corey had a flu shot and was sick.
Hey, fuck you.
I never had a flu shot because I ain't no bitch. But
I'm a nurse.
He is a nurse. But, yeah, so we ended up not doing it on Saturday, so we didn't have Jeff on to talk about his Ravens and how they're bad, and we said they wouldn't make the playoffs, and then they lost to the freaking Bears.
I said they'd make a wild card.
Oh, ouch. Yikes, Corey. I said they wouldn't make the playoffs.
I also said the Chiefs would make the playoffs, so we're off. Yeah, I'm just off to a great start.
I had the Chiefs in, because the Chiefs are dominant.
Anywho, so back to the Bears.
So Jeff didn't come on. Ravens lose. Now, I wish we would have had Jeff on today, just to, scold him for it, but... we didn't, and Bears get a good win. Trubisky gets his first win.
Kiss titties.
Tariq Cohen threw a touchdown. Wild.
And Jordan Howard ran for 167 yards. I'll take that.
The Bears tried to lose the game because their special teams can't tackle.
And see, their special teams is normally pretty decent. I would say like an average to above average team. But, man, they just were really bad.
The bigger story, rather than the Bears winning, and, it's a big win on the day where Aaron Rodgers' season is frankly over. Broken collarbone, having surgery. The NFC North now wide open, in my opinion. More so for the Lions and the Vikings to go out and take, because I was high on both these teams going into the year, and I know you said the Lions would finish in last place.
I did.
I had the Lions, I believe, finishing in 3rd, but now, guess what? Matt Stafford and the Lions could go out and win a division. So could Case Keenum or Teddy Bridgewater and the Vikings, or whoever plays quarterback.
9-7 could win this division, to be perfectly honest. I think the Bears are kind of... The reason why, I think the Bears have a shot. I wouldn't say it's a good shot, but...
Slim shot.
It's a decent shot because... they have a lot of good things going for them. They have a franchise quarterback who has shown flashes of playing really well. They have a top 10 defense when they're not on the field for 2/3 of the game. They have, two really good running backs. I think they're relying a little too much on Tariq Cohen right now. I think he needs to be the change of pace guy, and he shouldn't be getting at least as many carries as he's been getting, but he's still been playing very well along with Jordan Howard. Mr. Trubisky has no wide receivers right now, and John Fox is here collecting a paycheck. I think those two reasons are why the Bears are still probably going to finish third or last in the division. But at the same time, it's a wide open race.
We've talked about this forever. I mean, in our opinion, the Bears roster is more talented than a Packers roster that doesn't have a healthy Aaron Rodgers. Period.
Yeah.
The Packers are not a good team without without basically the second greatest quarterback, in my opinion, to ever live.
Yeah, and for me, he's the best quarterback who's ever lived. But we talked. I mentioned this too back in the Mark Trestman days when the Bears had Jay Cutler, Matt Forte, Martellus Bennett, and Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon Marshall. You had this great skill set, set of skill players on offense, and there was some talent on the defense, but I thought the Bears had more talent on their roster than the Packers did. It's just the gap between Aaron Rodgers and anybody else not named Tom Brady is so massive that he fixes a lot of deficiencies. If you have a bad offensive line like they have had in Green Bay, what does Aaron Rodgers do? He makes plays with his feet. He spins out of sacks. He hits these wide receivers who are like no-name wide receivers who become contributors because Aaron Rodgers can put the ball in the right spot at all times. And the Packers have just lost that.
Yeah, and they don't have a run game. Their offensive line's been banged up all year. Their defense isn't good. Yikes. I mean,
yikes.
Mike McCarthy, you should be panicking big time.
Big
time. Is Brett Hundley not the answer?
You want to know what my biggest fear, too, with this stuff is, just as a Bears fan? I said the Bears wouldn't win a division until Aaron Rodgers retires, and I'm going to stick with that notion because I don't think they win this year. But imagine if the Packers, let's say the Packers lose out for just conversation's sake. That gets them a top 5 pick in the draft. There's this quarterback class coming into the next draft. There's a lot of talent in these quarterbacks. So what if they pull like a Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and do an Aaron Rodgers like Josh Rosen, where they take a quarterback in the first round and he just becomes the next great Packer quarterback who dominates the Bears for 20 years. Like, the Bears will have gone 40, 50...
But you'd have somebody, Mitchell Trubisky. I mean, if all comes to fruition, that'd be a good quarterback.
I guess. It just scares the crap out of me.
Because let's look at the NFC North quarterback-wise. Stafford, he just got paid, highest paid player in the NFL.
Stafford's a good quarterback, too.
I think he's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
I think he's top 10, obviously. But he's not young as he used to be. So
no.
Mitch Trubisky, youngest quarterback in the division.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers is getting up there, over 30. Second time he's broken his collarbone in the last 4 years.
Shane McClellan sucked.
Teddy Bridgewater hasn't been healthy.
Sam
Bradford's not going to be a Viking. I mean, Case Keenum's not the answer. So looking forward, if Mitchell Trubisky continues to progress, the Bears are in good shape.
I honestly think if the Bears had re-signed Alshon Jeffrey and he was performing the way he's used to with the Bears, that I think they would be the front runners in the division right now. I think they would be, maybe 3-3 right now instead of 2-4.
Because the defense is good. We've talked about the defense, and the secondary is playing very well, which is huge for them.
Kyle Fuller, I think Kyle Fuller's in a contract year. Kyle Fuller in a contract year has been playing out of his mind all year, but especially on Sunday against the Ravens. I believe Pro Football Focus had him at 11 times he was targeted. He gave up 1 catch. And
did you see his agent tweeting about him, too?
No,
his agent's hyping him up.
Yeah, I mean, I get, maybe this is his final, his breakout time, which would be really good for the Bears, and maybe they resign him going forward, but, it's contract year. Contract years always make me nervous.
Yeah.
But, Adrian Amos is balling at strong safety. Got his first pick. We've loved Adrian Amos since he got drafted in the 5th round. I don't know if he was necessarily answered free safety, but he was an answer at strong safety.
He was playing the wrong position.
Yeah. He's a really sound tackler. He plays really well in the box. And Eddie Jackson's not playing horrifically at free safety. I think that's a nice nice combo you have there that they need to develop some chemistry together. But
I like the safeties.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's going to be great for them going forward if they can get a shutdown corner. Plus, maybe Kyle Fuller, if he's going to break out. That's two good corners.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're in great shape because the front seven is dominant and is going to be dominant. The only thing that scares me is Pernell McPhee's health.
Yeah, and that's another thing too that does concern me. I mean, you have Leonard Floyd, and Leonard Floyd has been playing I feel like he's been like a low-key monster this year, to be perfectly honest. He's just such a freak of a physical human being, and the Pernell McPhee contract is one of those that's kind of questionable because
you wonder why the Ravens kind of just said meh.
And he was expected to get the expanded role here in Chicago when he signed, and he was pretty good during his first year. But man, just can't stay healthy, and I don't know what the Bears plan to do with him. I feel like this is year 3 for him now, so yeah. I think all his guaranteed money should be chewed up by now. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with him going forward, but they need the pass rushing threat. So
all right, we were going to talk about the kickoff in the NBA, Cleveland and Boston, but I'm not going to do that now because Gordon Hayward's foot is turned and it looks all mangled.
Funny, he keeps saying kickoff and it's his foot.
Unintentional, but still funny. So we're going to avoid that game because the Cavaliers are going to walk into the NBA Finals.
It's safe to say the Cavs have a leg up on any other team in the Eastern Conference.
And we're just going to talk about the dumpster fire that is the Chicago Bulls. Now, on my notes coming into the show, I only had Bulls, dumpster fire, yawn.
Yeah.
Because they're a yawn, and I don't want to talk. They're going to have a problem winning 20 games. But now, Bobby Portis punches Nikola Mirotic's lights out.
He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks, they just announced.
Fractured his jaw. He's got a concussion, too, I think. Portis clocked him. Rumors have it that it was provoked. So we don't know what exactly went on. Only the players are going to know that.
Regardless, Bobby Portis punched Nikola Mirotic in the face, and Portis is kind of a dick.
And we know that if you're physically assaulted...
Yeah, there is a clause in NBA contracts that I've never heard of before, but maybe it's because we never needed to hear it before. If a player is physically assaulted by another player, then they have the right to just opt out of their contract. They can do that. It's like I guess it would be, I don't know if it's like assault at any workplace, but he got assaulted basically, and he can opt out and become a free agent, sign with another team. Say
Boston,
the Boston Celtics, who are just out of a white
just in.
They
need a forward. This just in. Yeah, so that's a tough break for the Celtics because I like Gordon Hayward as a player. Liked him since he was at Butler with Brad Stevens. Liked the idea that they had this reunion. Liked the idea that they had Kyrie coming in. It's going to be a good team with Al Horford and all those guys.
But now they can have Nikola Mirotic because the Bulls are going to struggle to win 15 games this year.
Yeah, I hope the Bulls don't win at all. I really do.
Well, just to clear up the situation here with Nikola and Bobby Portis before we move forward, if you're Nikola Mirotic, why would you want to be here?
No.
You just got clocked in the face. You're going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. And you can go to any team you want right now, any team that wants you.
And the executives say they want to build a winning culture. Well, guess how you don't build a winning culture?
By letting players punch each other in the
letting
face.
Players knock somebody out.
But
so that is going to be the ultimate event that describes the Bulls season. Before it's even started, that's how you can describe the Bulls season. What is the 2017-2018 NBA season for the Bulls?
We'll have 15 wins for the Bulls this year?
I hope less.
I really hope. I don't think this is a situation or a scenario where I want them to win at all. Sort of like the White Sox this year, you just want them to lose as many games as possible. The only difference is in the NBA, I think it really does benefit you to lose as many games as possible because in baseball, you control where you go in the draft. But with the NBA, the Bulls had a 1.7% chance to draft Derrick Rose, get the first overall pick, and they got it.
Yep.
If you have the worst record in the NBA, you still only have a 25% chance to get that number 1 overall pick.
Sure.
Which is bigger than everybody else. But at the same time, that's still pretty frightening odds. And I think that if you decrease from that 25, if you have the second worst, third worst record, you're just doing yourself a disservice in a scenario where everything's already stacked against you. So why would you want to try to win more than 15 games this year if you're the Bulls? I don't think you're going to.
Absolutely. Now, why we love sports today here on Mom's Basement. I'm sure you guys saw this clip. We're going to play it again. John Lester obviously a little bit intoxicated after the Cubs closed out the NLDS in Washington after Game 5, the craziest game of baseball I personally have ever seen in my life. Crazier, more stressful than Game 7 of the World Series. Wild game. This is John Lester. after Game 5 of the NLDS and why we love sports today. Roll the clip.
Plane flight tonight.
What?
What's it about?
What
5,
about
6
it?
hours?
Who knows?
That's probably not gonna be any fun.
Who cares? It's always going to be, peaches and roses, or however the saying goes. I love watching guys. That's really cold. Who's doing that? I hate you.
Don't get that on the air.
Yeah, hell, I'll put it on there. I don't care. And I did that on the camera. You see that?
Appreciate that.
I love our young guys. Our guys are so cocky that they don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I apologize.
John, you've been in winning clubhouses before. What makes this winning clubhouse a special one?
Winning.
All right, and for the first time on Mom's Basement, we're going to be doing some inbox questions that Corey has loaded up on his phone. Corey's going to read me the questions. I'll give him my answer, and I'm sure Corey will have some input on these as well. Corey, fire away.
So I just want to preface this by saying this. Well, obviously this is the first time we're doing it. I'm just trying to grab the guys' Twitter handles really quick, who asked me these questions. These guys are all in my White Sox group chat that I have on Twitter because White Sox fans got to go somewhere during the offseason.
No, that's good. I mean, teams to have their own Twitter. There's kind of a little bit of Cubs Twitter. We don't have chats. We have the Dom, Frederick from Barstool, the Dom, the director of morale, leading the way, leading the charge.
And we used to have White Sox Dave in here, but then once we got around the trade deadline, he started breaking some stories. He actually dipped out of the chat because we kept asking him, what's going on with Q?
Plus, White Sox Dave sucks.
I love White Sox Dave. Fuck you, man.
I hate
White Sox Dave is the bomb. All right. So anyway, first question we have here is from Owen, and his Twitter handle is @V_export. And his question is, can we consider the Nikola Mirotic Bobby Portis scuffle to be a gut punch to the organization, even though it was to the face? So basically, are the Bulls, does this situation make the Bulls the most embarrassing team in the NBA or even in sports?
Yeah, they are the most embarrassing team in the NBA. They are at the bottom. They are the dumpster of the NBA. The gif of the dumpster burning on fire is the Chicago Bulls. And this is like I said, the perfect way to describe their season. It's a bunch of misfit toys. They're not good players. They're not well coached. They're not well run. This is an awful organization. There's no part of this organization that anyone should like. They should tear it completely down from the ground up and redo Reinsdorf. Sorry, that's just the way it is.
And that's what they're trying to do. My question is, why are they doing it with Garpax?
Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, I asked myself that question too when it came to the White Sox with this rebuild. Why should Kenny and Rick Hahn be allowed to do it? But when they already had the chance to do it in 2013, but Hahn never really got the chance to do it in 2013. It was mostly Kenny. So when Hahn got to step forward and make these trades and start the rebuild off, everybody was behind it. However, right now you have no change-up in the Bulls front office. They're discussing extensions for Garpax.
Yikes.
I mean, I don't...
Why am I not being considered?
Because you never played in the NBA.
I'm going to fake a resume.
You're going to fake a resume?
I'm going to fake a resume. I'm going to grow out a beard. I'm going to try. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to interview for the job. And I'm going to crush it.
Because, honestly, at this point, I mean, sure, let's say they get the number 1 overall pick in the draft, and you have this scenario at the top of the draft where you have, two supposedly can't-miss players. I don't trust them to pick that guy.
No, they're not going to pick the right one.
I mean, sure, what was it? They had that situation when they took Derrick Rose. They had either Derrick Rose or Michael Beasley. And sure, they chose right. You chose Derrick Rose. But they have made so many wrong decisions. I think the last right decision they made was drafting Jimmy Butler. Because what have they done since?
Their drafts since then have been bad.
What have they done since? They fired Tom Thibodeau, hired Fred Hoiberg. They got fleeced in the Jimmy Butler trade. They have...
Easy on that. Too early to tell. Zach LaVine, I think, is a phenomenal player. Could average 20 in a 20 game in the NBA.
I think
Basically, let's put it this way. The way they draft has been highlighted by Bobby Portis clocking Nikola Mirotic.
Or can we talk about how they traded 5 draft picks for Doug McDermott just to trade him for nothing?
Yeah.
I
mean, bad. And then how they got
bad.
Cameron Payne in exchange for
McDermott and Taj Gibson.
And then they got Carmelo in exchange for basically the same deal, am I right?
Yeah.
In New York, yeah.
Yeah, so, this, going back to the original question, this could be considered a gut punch to the Bulls organization, but at the same time, if you're a Bulls fan, how are you not already embarrassed to be a Bulls fan? I'm a huge Bulls fan, and I find it very hard to watch their games just because there's nothing to watch.
Yeah.
Last year, I didn't want to watch three alphas in Butler, Wade, and Rondo, because I knew two of them weren't very good players anymore, and one of them wasn't a superstar. The other one was not a superstar. And you kind of lost me when Tom Thibodeau got fired as well. I think I'm not going to be interested until they change coaches, to be perfectly honest with you. That's my sticking point.
I hate Fred Hoiberg.
Because
hated the hire, hate him now. He's a bad coach.
Tom Thibodeau at one time was the best coach in this league. I truly believe that. And I think at his worst, he's a top 5 coach in this league. You went to the worst head coach in the NBA.
Huge drop-off.
Huge drop-off. So the Bulls have a lot going on right now. And sure, this situation with Nikola and Bobby Portis, yeah, gut punch. Sure, call it whatever you want. But it's just one of a long list of embarrassing things that have happened to the Bulls since, let's say, 2011, 2012, or whatever.
All right, next question.
And our second question that we have is from the boy Mitchell Glass here. And Mitchell is asking me and Joey, if you could pick any Chicago athlete to build a franchise around, who would it be and why?
This is tough.
It's not tough for me, so I think I'm going to answer it first. And it's a little bit of a cop-out because the proof is right where it's at. We don't talk a lot of hockey on this show, but
nobody talks a lot of hockey.
We do, and we have Matt on, but
Matt's no longer allowed to talk hockey on this show.
He's not allowed in the basement.
Yeah.
But we have. I'm going to go with Jonathan Toews, and there's a lot of reasons why you can go with Jonathan Toews. I mean, his story pretty much writes it itself. You know, he's. They've won 3 cups. They've been to the playoffs essentially every year since, 2010? 2009. And, you know, he's the face of the franchise. A franchise that has, you know, Patrick Kane in it, who is another top 10 player in this league, in the NHL. Jonathan Toews is the clearly defined leader because he brings the best out of everybody else, and he expects people to put in the work that he puts in. And that he's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer, and as long as he is on the Blackhawks, I feel like they have a chance to contend for a cup every single year. If you were to trade one player off of the Hawks to get maximum value in a return, you would trade Patrick Kane. Jonathan Toews is your untouchable. We've talked about this before.
Yes. If
you were to trade Patrick Kane, you get a ton back for Patrick Kane, and if you trade Jonathan Toews, you would get a ton back for Jonathan Toews. But Toews is the one guy you cannot get rid of, and that's why I would, put my franchise around him.
No, I'm gonna pick.
I don't like it.
I know you're not gonna like it.
I don't like it already just because of positional value. But go ahead.
I'm picking Anthony Rizzo.
Okay.
And here's why. One, the dude's a leader. He's been through it all. He's been through it all in his life. I need a guy who's going to lead my team, not just on the field, but in the locker room. And Anthony Rizzo does that. Put a C on the man's chest already. 2, he's the best first baseman defender in the sport, period. He won a platinum glove last year. You can't contest it. Yes, there's a platinum glove for you people that don't know. He won the platinum glove.
I just want to let you know, I don't want to call you out or anything, but there was a point this year where he and Jose Abreu were the 2 worst fielding first basemen in baseball.
There was a point. Look it up now. He's not. I'm just letting you know.
All right.
He hits. He plays defense well. He leads the team on and off the field. He's donating $3 million of his $5 million salary to cancer. I mean, I love Anthony Rizzo.
I want to hate him so much.
You can't do it.
I just can't. I can't.
He's only 28 years old, so there's still 8-9 years of value there for a franchise.
See, this is where you got me. This is where you got me because of the age too. How can you pick somebody now? Anthony Rizzo is a damn good player. How can you pick somebody over? How can you pick him over like a Chris Bryant who's only been here for 2 years?
It's only a 3-year age difference between them two. Chris Bryant is 25 years old.
Okay, that's
not a huge gap.
Chris Bryant isn't entering his prime yet.
Sure, I get that Chris Bryant's going to be great, but I think Anthony Rizzo is going to win an MVP, at least one, maybe more, in his career. I think he's that good. He is that good. You can pencil him in for 30 and 100 every year, every single year, and his average is not going to be bad. So I'm just letting you know. That's who I would pick. I think he's a career 270 hitter. So that's who I would pick. And in Chicago sports.
All right.
There's nobody to pick in basketball. There's nobody to pick in football.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of got a limited window.
You're not picking anybody on the White Sox yet.
Not yet. I mean, in a couple of years, maybe we say Yohan Moncada or Eloy Jimenez, but right now, the best. But right now, we've got hockey, we got the Cubs, and I'm not touching Chicago Fire.
Oh, God, I don't even consider them. They're not a pro team in Chicago.
We can talk about the Chicago Sky if you'd want.
No, that's not even it's not even a discussion. Soccer's a hobby. All right, next question.
Those are the only 2 questions I got, my friend.
That's it? All right,
Yep.
2 questions. That's going to wrap up this week's episode of Mom's Basement. Could be a couple weeks before we're back again because I am busy the next couple weekends. But we will be back and better than ever. Shortly, like I said, if this video gets 10 likes on the next episode of Mom's Basement, we will give away the hat live. So make sure you guys drop a like on the video. Hit the big red subscribe button on YouTube. Go over to iTunes. Subscribe there as well. Leave a 5-star review. Because 5-star reviews, subscribing on iTunes, you enter to win the hat. Subscribe on YouTube. Leave a comment saying you want to enter. You're entered to win the hat. That's how you do it. You don't make us into gifts. You don't be a fake Sox fan on Twitter. You don't, God.
A fake Dodger fan, you mean?
A fake Dodger fan, a fake Sox fan. You're just a fake person. You don't have minions following you around. You don't have fake accounts like Kevin Durant.
Yo, our best friend on White Sox Twitter just tweeted, "Have my babies, Chris Taylor." Hallelujah.
Now he's
I'm a nurse. I could think of at least one problem with 2 guys trying to make a baby on their own.
All right, that's going to do it. That's going to do it. For Corey, I'm Joe. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
C-H-I to the C-A-G-O. But we just got that dub, we ain't playing no more. In the back of the club, 3 rats with the plug. Chi-Town coming back with the dub. Boy, you know what it is and you know what it was. C-U-B, that's the team, we the club. Back of the club, 3 rats with the plug. Chi-Town coming back with the dub. Boy, you know what it is and you know what it was. C-U-B, that's the team, we the club.